Hello. Oh, this is very interesting. There's a whole haze over my... You might be feeling hazy just right off the bat. There we go. Bizarre. Hello, my beautiful collective. That was so strange. I'm not even going to start this again because that was clearly meant to be. If you're feeling hazy and foggy, this video found you for a reason. I actually cannot believe that just happened, but this is how the divine works. This is what happens. So I want to do a video for you today on this little guy, the pendulum, my pendulum. I want to introduce you to my pendulum. My pendulum's name is Star. I know that's a bit odd, but I'm just gonna get my hair towel out of the background there. That's going to annoy me. I like my fuzzy Russian hat, but I don't think you need to see my hair towel, people. I have a Virgo South Node, okay? I'm working on it. I'm working on that perfection. We're getting there. As in letting go of perfection. And actually, that kind of ties into this as well today. So you'll hear some of my partner speaking in the background too, because we both work from home, and I just need you to understand that this is how life is. And for me, I think it's really important to just display online how life really is, okay? Things don't work sometimes, technical stuff doesn't work. There's a haze over the image. You know what I'm saying? If you understand for the right collective, you're going to get what I'm saying on this. So I really want to show you today how I use the pendulum when it comes to making decisions. And anyone in the spiritual community or in the tarot crystals will know or have seen or even have some understanding of the pendulum. But I really have become so reliant on this as a source of intuition. And I've also got my own inner pendulum, and of course you can muscle test and things like that. But the reason why I love this guy is because as a Taurus rising, so I'm not a Taurus native, but I have a lot of Taurus in my chart. Mars is in Taurus, I'm a Taurus rising, etc. I find that having something tangible to hold, something that's in my possession, something that actually I can physically feel. It's quite heavy in the base, this one too, which I love, something heavy, but something that I can physically touch and physically hold and physically be connected to. It's just very fitting for my Taurian energy. And as I said, I'm not a Taurus native, but my twin flame is a Taurus native. I'm also not in a relationship with my twin flame. I get that question a lot. Like I said, life is complex, life is funny, life is weird, life is electric. So I just want to bring us into the space today. This will be slightly meditative, slightly not. So we're just going to do a little bit of a clear with the sound bowl. And let's ring our bell. And get started. So there are a couple ways to use a pendulum, and I've heard a lot about people who allow them to spin clockwise for a yes and anti-clockwise for a no. So the pendulum can only be used for yes or no answers. It can't be used for maybes, or you could say maybe to it and see if it says yes or no. But the pendulum is really only able to give you yes or no answers. A lot of people wonder how this works, and I want to break it down for you today as to how it truly works and why it's not as mystical and magical as people think it is. Yes, there is a level of esotericism here that you have to understand in order to wrap your head around the pendulum and what this is about, but anyone can use this. You don't have to be spiritual, you don't have to be anything. It's actually a kinesiology tool. So if you do see a kinesiologist and you're not, super woo woo like I am with the sounds and the crystals and the cards and the tarot and the ankh and etc. If you are just your average everyday human being, you can use these. And of course, these are incredible tools in spiritual circumstances as well. I don't know. I don't even really believe in the word spirit, to be honest with you, my loves, just because I think that the world is a holographic projection and that this is a simulation that we're in right now of sorts, but it's an important simulation and it's a part of our soul's evolution and growth. And so the point is not to escape the matrix, because if you think you're escaping the matrix, you're still in the matrix. Watch that movie again. Watch all three of them. Okay, watch all three of them. But what this is it's an incredible tool for your soul to use your body to give you answers. So it's not the pendulum that moves. That's what a lot of people think. The pendulum is what's moving. Like spirit is coming down and moving the pendulum in a certain direction. No, this is a kinesiology tool. It's your body that moves the pendulum. And your body is the advanced technology that your soul chose to incarnate in and through in this lifetime on Earth, in this space-time reality right now. So for those of you who go deep into physics and quantum physics and understanding and energy work and even just the science behind energy and migration of energy from one body to the next, incarnation, reincarnation, this body actually holds all of the answers that you need to your highest timeline, your highest self, your most inner world where you're finding alignment. And that's what the pendulum has been for me in my life. It's been a source of absolute alignment. There's this incredible little shop down on the waterfront here where I live called Pam's Affordable Gifts. She's just sold the shop. I don't know if it's going to be renamed, but I have found a lot of things from Pam. And whenever I go into Pam's store, I feel like there's this incredible alignment that I'm experiencing. And there's always something in that store that speaks to me, whether it be a crystal or my bell that I found there recently or anything. I found so many interesting things in Pam's store that have helped me. Oils, things that have healed my body and things that I've passed on. So this I found at Pam's, and then it's so funny because it leads me back to Pam time and time again. Pam, I hope that you watch this someday. You're just such a darling. So why the pendulum works is because when you ask your body yes and no questions, it's like kinesiology testing, right? It's like muscle testing. You're muscle testing. But what I love about the pendulum, and you can learn to go into your own inner pendulum as well, if you are, I'm an Aquarius native, but if you're like an Aquarius rising or an air sign rising, you may like to use your body as the pendulum, and I'll go into that in a moment because you can do that whenever you like. You can just use your body. You don't need to have the physical pendulum there with you. But like I said, I love the pendulum because of how tangible it is. So I actually decided to calibrate my pendulum to forward and backward moving motion as yes and side to side as no. For me, that just resonated, and you can calibrate your pendulum to however you want to. This is your body coming into the pendulum. So you can recalibrate it as many times as you like as well if you want it to start swinging this way or that way, because it's your hand that is getting information from your highest good or your source itself or the soul avatar that is in the body. You know, you can think about this scientifically, you can think about this mystically, you can think about this spiritually, any way that you like, but it's your body that's actually telling the pendulum what you need. Now, here's the thing about yes or no answers, okay? When it comes to the body, you're going to get direct yes and no answers. For example, my name is Marissa. It's figuring it out, and now it's moving backwards and forwards. My name is Mary. Figuring it out, and now it's moving side to side. Now, I'm not doing that, okay? Consciously. But my body is telling me what the truth is, okay? My body is actually telling me what the truth is. And that is why this is such a powerful tool for intuition. And I like to use this to start before you go into learning to use your forward and backward motion of your own equilibrium in your body, or side to side, or maybe it's round this way or around the other way. I like to use the pendulum to start, because what that does is it gives you direct feedback. It's biofeedback from your soul. I'm going to say that again. It's biofeedback from your soul and your body. So for example, I am day 2 of a 3-week fast, and I use the pendulum to tell me to do 3 weeks. Little fly just came and buzzed over and said hi. Flies can be a sign of luck. They can actually be a sign of luck, so that's very interesting. This tool has helped me develop my intuition in so many ways. So I keep it on me all the time. I don't like to, and it's made from onyx, this one, with a little weight inside. So the onyx, that's a whole other story, but I don't like to be without it. But if I am without it, I use my body as the pendulum, okay? So for any of you who are wanting to start with the pendulum, buy yourself one online, buy yourself one from anywhere, it doesn't matter. I've used black because black is absorbent, and so all of my energy gets absorbed into the pendulum. They come in different shapes, sizes, whatever. You'll see right now it's quite rigid, and this is the thing, it will change depending on you. And so that's why I really just wanted to dispel any myths about this today as being like scary or funny, like, oh no, you can't do that. This is one of the best tools to your own inner world and dimension, okay? Your own inner self, your own inner vibrational path to what is good for you. So let's do a little bit of an experiment. Should the collective buy themselves a pendulum? Absolutely. Should they do this within the next week? Yes. Should they purchase a black one? It's thinking, and it's starting to go side to side. No, it's going to be different. It's going to be different for everyone. Now, me as the channel who channels the collective will also channel, and this is where you might start to think it gets quite mystical, I will also channel your energy through my body into the pendulum, which is why when you go and see a healer or a mystic or a crone or a sage or a wizard or a witch or whatever you want to call people like me, I call myself an oracle or Yoda in a woman, baby Yoda, because I'm quite short, see? They can channel your energy into the pendulum. You can channel someone else's energy into your pendulum. For example, I can channel my twin flame's energy, my twin soul, my simultaneous incarnation, my other self, whatever you want to call him. I can channel his energy very easily because we have the same soul in a different body, right? So I can channel his energy very easily. I can find out what he's up to sometimes, although I don't tend to do that. I don't really spy on him energetically anymore. I'm past that point of our evolution. But I can ask it questions about my partner, right? I can ask it questions about my friends, about my mother. And if you are starting out, I'm not sure why my mother just came into me. That was weird. so strange. If you're starting out on this journey, I would suggest that you get yourself one of these and you practice using it. A lot of people say they don't know how to start using it. Just pick it up and ask yourself those questions, because it's coming from you. It's coming from the place beyond the conscious mind, and the subconscious is where all of the answers live for you, for the people in your life, for the environment, for the things that you're building, for everything that's happening. Something that I will suggest is that you do sage or cleanse your pendulum regularly, or when you buy it and you receive it, just because these things get handled a lot by other people while they're being created. And I just like to sage and cleanse most new things that come into my life, with the exception of if they come from a friend who has maybe put some really good energy in it. I'll just check it and I'll maybe egg cleanse the particular thing that's come into my life so that I can remove anything negative from it. If you don't know about egg cleansing, I can always do a video on egg cleansing. Just pop it down below and I'll make a video on that. But this is an incredible tool to start to activate your intuition, your personal intuition. Eventually you won't need the pendulum, okay? And I still use the pendulum, as I said, all the time, because I like confirmation. As I said earlier, I am a Virgo South Node. For anyone who is a Virgo South Node, our whole plight in our life is escaping perfectionism. So I still have attachment to making sure I get it right? I'm letting that go. I'm meticulous about those things. I'm meticulous about detail, and I really have to learn to take my eyes off detail. And embrace the spiritual path, which is the Pisces North Node. But this is an incredible tool to start to anchor you into your own intuitive abilities, your own psychic abilities, your own gifts. And I really want to encourage you to pick yourself up one of these. Doesn't matter what color it is. We got confirmation from the channel collective. It does not matter what color it is, okay? It just matters that you buy one, or you get one, or you require one, however you're going to do it. I don't know if you can make one, I'm not sure, within the next week after watching this video. Super important. So let's get a little card. I know that's a bit odd, but let's get a little card to just seal the deal here. I'm seeing a red spell candle in here too. That might be important for you moving forward. Let's get a Work Your Light Oracle card just to give you some direction on this particular situation with the pendulum and pendulum magic, so to speak, which is actually just kinesiology. I believe in magic, okay? I'm not saying I don't believe in magic. M-A-G-I-C-K. Google it if you don't know what I'm talking about. I believe in magic. However, I also believe, it's so funny, that magic is simply our interpretation of science. I'm an Aquarius native on the Pisces cusp, okay? So magic and science smashed together. Magic is just our interpretation of the actual truth of this space-time reality, which is not as confined to the three-dimensional rules that we think it is. And science will eventually catch up with that. We're getting there with quantum physics, quantum mechanics, quantum computing. We're understanding AI will grow into a sentient consciousness. I'm going to do a whole other video on that at some point about the inorganic consciousness that I somehow channeled a little while back through some of my guides. But Answer the Call is the card that came up for you. So I just want to read that for you today, because these are such beautiful cards. There is something you're needing to do here. There's actually something you're needing to embrace. Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Your guidance is divinely guided. You're divinely guided to this video about the pendulum, okay? You are being called to answer the call of your soul. It might be scary, it might not make sense, but if you trust your soul's yearnings, you will live a life beyond what your mind could possibly imagine. Answering your soul's calling is not a one-time thing, rather a lifelong dance. Deep down, you already know what you long for, what your soul yearns for. Whatever you are called to do, that is your calling. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for permission. Just say yes. Most people are waiting for a step-by-step plan before they take the first step. But intuition doesn't work like that. Intuition! Intuition doesn't work like that. It takes faith and courage to answer the calls of your soul. And that's why most people don't do it. But you are not most people. You are in exactly the right place to answer your calling now. You don't need to know the whole plan. You don't even need to know where it is leading. And that's something I've learned with the pendulum. Whatever it tells me, whatever my body is interpreting, it doesn't make sense to me half the time. I've cut off relationships because of this thing. That at the time I was just thinking, this is insane. This is totally insane. But my body knew what was right. And it was 3 months, 6 months, even 12 months down the track with my pendulum, you know, my inner pendulum, my physical pendulum, that I realized that was meant to be. I listened deeply. That's the ice cream truck. I haven't heard that in years. Bizarre. Yeah, you don't need to know where it's leading, but I learned to just trust. This is an act of trust. And look, if you get it wrong, there's no such thing as wrong. There's no such thing as wrong. Most decisions in life are actually undoable. They're actually undoable. Probably the only one that's not is having a baby. Okay? That's like the only thing that's actually undoable is having a baby or a complete sex change where you've cut off parts of your body. Those things aren't undoable. Even tattoos these days are undoable. Not that I would ever get rid of mine, but do you see what I'm saying? Like, there's no right or wrong here in life. And I really feel called to tell you that right now. There's no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong. There's only energy, okay? There's only energy. And there's only what is. There's only choices. They're not right or wrong. We need to stop thinking about things as being so polarized and actually find the duality and be comfortable in the tension of duality. That is the nature of creation. But you are not most people. You're in exactly the right place to answer your calling now. You're being called to something. You're being called to this deeper work. You don't need to know the whole plan. You don't even need to know where it's leading. You just need to take the next step. That's it. No one has ever had the complete perfect plan. There is no end destination. There is no right or wrong way to do it. And you do not need permission from anyone else. Sometimes the more resistance we have around answering a soul calling, the more important it is to our soul's growth. What is your soul calling you to do? That's really all I have for you today. I just wanted to do a bit of an education piece around the pendulum, and I hope that you find that helpful. I am loving you. I'm sending you so many hugs. I'm not sending you just love and light, because I'm also sending you everything that you need right now. I'm not about just love and light, you know. If you haven't noticed, there's a bit of darkness in life as well. And I find that darkness is just as beautiful as the light. I do actually want to randomly just pull a couple letters for you. It's a bit strange. We have A twice, we have M, T, we've got S, Y, Z, F, C, and I. Whatever those letters are bringing up for you today, it might be in business, it might be in relationships, it might be in love. I just want you to ground in on those. And maybe have a little conversation with your pendulum. Go and find yourself one if you don't have one. And hopefully that helps you to begin the journey of the pendulum. Love you. Kisses.